Hello, today we're going to be talking about our first VIT, very important term for the APUSH curriculum, but would be essential in a regular U.S. history class as well. So to start, let's get the definition. It is the transatlantic exchange of plants, animals, and diseases that occurred after the first European contact with the Americas. So, in summary, this is a really good image to have in your mind when thinking about the Columbian Exchange. It's that as our Europeans, Africans, and Americans, and Asians as well, as they really began to interact with each other in new ways for the first time, we see goods, crops, diseases making their way across the hemisphere. So here is a more extensive list, certainly not all encompassing, but here's a more extensive list of what came from America to Europe, Africa, and Asia. So primarily you can think food crops. And these food crops had a for the most part, extremely positive effect on the populations in the old world, and they allowed for additional population growth because of the high nutritional value. On the other hand, when going from Europe, Africa, and Asia to the Americas, we do see those plants, but we also see additional animals and a much higher amount of diseases or making their way across the hemispheres. And so what we see is that those diseases are what will have the primary effect on the New World, in that it is going to lead to mass devastation of indigenous peoples. As many as 90 to 95% of indigenous peoples in the Americas were killed as a result of just disease. So, in summary, the overall effects of the Columbian Exchange is that we see positive growth for the most part, Europeans, as they gain this foothold in the Americas and the diseases wiped out the population. They were able to obtain additional power and wealth. We see new ethnic groups happening as a result too, when the Europeans came, as they brought enslaved Africans, and we see populations intermarrying and rape also occurring. We see trade shifting from land-based trade to across the ocean, specifically the transatlantic trade. We see conquest, disease, and death for many indigenous peoples, and we see the rise of the slave trade. So those are kind of some broad effects of the Columbian Exchange. For more on the Columbian Exchange, I have a larger video, so check that out if you would like to learn more about this very important term.